It's actually mortifying to even ask that question, but it's a relevant question. How many serial rapists are driving around unchecked? The case in point here is this particular man was in Tihar for 7 months. He was acquitted because the lady who was his victim did not come out, and we are told with our sources that she did not come out and testify against him. It does not mean that the evidence was produced and it was proven in that way that there was no act of rape. Then this man goes on to drive a cab, and 2 years later does exactly the same thing. Now, we have had so many calls tonight. People say we feel vulnerable. Women say, how are we going to take a cab ever again after this? Others are asking, what about the responsibility of the police? Many people are asking today, they are horrified with this statement. The taxi driver says, mujhse galti ho gayi, main kya karoon? I've made a mistake, what can I do? This very statement tells me and tells all of us that he is a serial rapist. He is a person who has a pathological problem. He was out there on the streets. Who do we blame? Well, a lot of us blame the political class. Let's start with you, Shobha. Who do you blame for this?
The political class, for sure, Arnab. There's no question about it. The cues that they give to the country, to society at large, to the police, determines how these kind of atrocities are dealt with, how they're regarded. There is no safety whatsoever guaranteed to any woman, not the village woman, not the urban young professional.
Yeah.
No woman can feel safe in India today. That's the sad story. There is a kind of an attitude which is so demeaning when a neta can say boys will be boys.
Yeah.
That is exactly the attitude that defines their entire how they deal with these cases. They couldn't care less. Women are a low priority.
And
absolutely. every successive government and every political party, they're all guilty of the same, exactly the same
and
thing.
The BJP needs to ask itself that between December 16th, when the Nirbhaya incident took place, and May 16th, when they were voted to power, has the responsibility for rape shifted from the government? If the government was responsible for lax security for women, then how is it not responsible now? Who do you blame? Kavita, Krishnan, and by the way, quickly welcome our panelists. I'm sorry for the delayed introduction. Manish Sisodia, member of the National Executive of the Aam Aadmi Party. Joining the Newshour after some time, Shobha Oza of the Congress Party. There's Pooja Bedi, she's an actor, and my question goes to Kavita Krishnan, of course. Kavita, who do you blame?
See, I'd like to be really specific here because we're talking about this specific instance as well as about the general question of safety of women in public spaces in Delhi. In December 2012, we had said that governments must be accountable and they must safeguard women's freedom 24/7 in public spaces at all times of day and night. Now, we've had a change in government and all of that, and yet we're in exactly the same place. And let me raise certain very specific points. The problem here is that you're having companies that are saying we are not cab companies, we are app companies, we are software companies, and yet they are offering a transport service, a service that directly affects the safety of citizens, especially women citizens. And it isn't only Uber. So banning Uber alone is simply not the answer. There are a host of other companies as well, including all the major well-known names that are all plying cabs in Delhi minus any permit.
Who lets them? Who lets them?
Know this.
No, who lets them?
Exactly. I think that the question goes directly to the Home Minister and Transport Minister of this country.
We blame the politicians.
Under whom not only Delhi now falls, but in all the...
Absolutely, we do.
It's not a question of politicians. They are accountable.
No, it's politicians.
They are the ones who are responsible.
Kavita, it's politicians. It's politicians, because politicians are those.
Home Minister
because
and Transport Minister,
of course,
the government of the country.
It's the entire political class, because I know what's going to happen now. I know that Manish Sisodia will make it a political issue. I know the BJP will respond.
No, I'm saying,
I know Shobha Oza will make it a political issue. No, Arnab, we must make it a political issue, as we did in December 2012. We did in December 2012 make it a political issue, did we not? And, and we must, because you see, women's issues, women's safety, women's freedom must be a political issue. Let's start judging our political parties based on this. Let's judge governments based on this. Quick point from Shobha there, and then I'm going to the others, please. Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that let's not make some cab service the villain of the piece. let's not run away from the fact there's a sickness in our society. There's a sickness in the ruling class. They simply do not take it seriously. It's not about this cab company or that cab company. Uber operates in many other destinations.
No, okay. Let's get the others in also, Kavita, please. No. I'll tell you what the sickness in the political class is. The sickness in the political class is that they want to use these incidents for their own political benefit. Like Shobha will. Won't you, Shobha? Short-term opportunity for you to come into the limelight. Regardless of what you did when you were in power, Shobha, you will use the opportunity vis-a-vis the BJP. The BJP will use it to bat back against the Aam Aadmi Party, and Mr. Sisodia will do the same. Let's hear from the politicians. Mr. Sisodia, आपको क्या कहना है? कि आपके लिए भी एक राजनीतिक मुद्दा मिल गया आपको 2-3 हफ्तों के लिए?
No,
one second. Manish Sisodia is taking that, Kavita. That question is to Manish Sisodia.
We should be holding the government accountable.
We will hold all of them accountable tonight on the program. I can assure you.
Politics.
No, we will. I am not one to dodge from politics.
Why they are making...
Kavita, trust me. Watch it. Let the political class answer. I'm not here to dodge any political question, and I will put it straight at all political parties. I just want an assurance they won't be squeezing it for 2-3 weeks of political benefit. Manish Sisodia.
अर्नब, अगर इस देश में पिछले 6 महीने में 1200 बलात्कार हो गए हों और इस तरह के सर्टिफिकेट और इस तरह के ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम चल रहा है दिल्ली में, तो इस देश की राजनीति के लिए इससे महत्वपूर्ण और इससे इंपॉर्टेंट मुद्दा डिस्कस करने के लिए कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता जी। हम इसको राजनीति कहें या इसका मजाक उड़ाएं, लेकिन इससे बेहतर मुद्दा, इससे जरूरी मुद्दा देश के नेताओं के पास कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए। हम कश्मीर पे बाद में बात कर लेंगे, हम फ्लाईओवर पे बाद में बात कर लेंगे, लेकिन अगर मेरी बहन मार्केट में जा रही है और वो सुरक्षित नहीं है, तो इससे जरूरी क्या चीज हो सकती है कि एक पॉलिटिशियन और इस देश के तमाम लोगों को डिस्कस करनी चाहिए। हम डिस्कस करना चाहते हैं, इस पर डिस्कस करने से काम नहीं चलेगा, कुछ करना पड़ेगा।
किसको ब्लेम करते हैं आप?
मैं कह रहा हूं
मैं तो कहता हूं इस केस पर जो केंद्र सरकार है और दिल्ली की जो सरकार है और जो दिल्ली पुलिस है वो लापरवाह हुई है इस केस पर। नो 1 सेकंड, हु डू यू ब्लेम?
मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि
हु डू यू ब्लेम
ना कि सॉल्यूशन लाने, रेप एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या बन गई है समाज में, इसके सॉल्यूशन
वो तो हमें पता है, बट हु डू यू ब्लेम?
पे है जो लोग सरकार में बैठे,
हु डू यू ब्लेम सर?
देश के होम मिनिस्टर, आप सुनिए ना सर, देश के होम मिनिस्टर को गारंटी लेनी पड़ेगी कि मैं सुनिश्चित करूंगा पुलिस की व्यवस्था, ट्रांसपोर्ट की व्यवस्था ऐसी करूंगा कि आने वाले समय में कोई रेप इस तरह का ना हो।
मगर वो तो नहीं कर रहे,
होम मिनिस्टर को गारंटी
वो तो नहीं कर रहे, उन्होंने तो they have done a 180 degree turn. No, 1 second. Meenakshi Lekhi, why are you sounding different compared to how you sounded during Nirbhaya? How is this a cultural and social issue today? 1 second. Let Meenakshi Lekhi answer. How is this a cultural and social issue today? Not a question of the responsibility of the government as it was in December 2012. How have you changed your line?
No, I haven't changed my
line. No, your government is in your government.
Will you please allow me to complete without interruption? Then I will answer. Otherwise,
your government. I said not you personally, but your government.
So my government is trying to make do with my government is trying to make do with the kind of administration which exists, and under that administrative rules, we have successfully captured the person in record time. And police has been absolutely efficient in handling the situation.
This is exactly the opposite of how you sounded during Nirbhaya. Exactly the opposite.
No, because Nirbhaya, exactly the opposite happened. The police was callous, people were callous.
So the police was not callous this time, Meenakshi, the police was not callous this time. There's a character certificate. The man is carrying a. There's a character certificate. The rapist has a character certificate.
At 1:25, the girl made a call. Police reached the spot, recorded.
No, 1 second. 1 second, Meenakshi.
Took the matter forward.
Meenakshi, let me point out 5 problems in your.
Police is different.
No. First of all, Meenakshi, let's go with the fact. I don't know if you are very satisfied with the police. There's no police verification in this case for the driver. There is no police verification for the driver.
Okay, who is responsible for getting
the police? The police as much as the company.
No, police will be responsible if the matter has gone to the police and police does not verify.
I'm sorry, Meenakshi. There is a company. I'm sorry, Meenakshi. There is a company which operates called Uber, There is a company
Yes,
called
so it is
Uber which
company
operates.
which is-
You mean to say the Delhi
Yes,
police did not know this
exactly
company
my point.
operates in Delhi?
I'm sorry, police has no jurisdiction to enter
Meenakshi,
and ask for
Meenakshi,
kind of
do
details.
you know?
In fact,
Meenakshi,
on the contrary,
Meenakshi,
it
the
is
driver
the
did not have a driving
responsibility to
license
get
issued by the Delhi
verification
Transport
done.
Authority. This is recommended
Yes,
for
Delhi
those
Transport-
driving cabs
exactly
in
my
Delhi.
Point, sir. Exactly my point. There is no transport department in terms of the transport ministry, etc. And Uber is operating not just in Delhi but all over. And it's.
I am asking about Delhi.
The problem which needs to be dealt.
But I am
with
asking about Delhi. Did you
and
target the
people
government or
have
not in December? No, Meenakshi.
People have
Meenakshi.
abandoned their duty in the past. So it
Miss
is only
Lekhi,
the
now tell me,
working under the old rules.
okay, so responsive,
The
let
rules
Shobha
need to be
come into the
changed.
debate. It's an
And
open
rules
debate. Let's
of
have
the
everyone on the
government can
screen.
only change once there is
No,
a government.
no.
Can I say something here?
This Pooja Bedi will respond to it, but before that, Shobha.
Arnab, let me ask Meenakshi Lekhi as to accountability lies with whom? The central government gives a character certificate to a minister who is alleged for a rape case, and the police is not able to catch him till date. And there is another police officer who gives a character certificate to a serial rapist. So where does the accountability of the government comes in, Mrs. Lekhi? Can you please reply?
At your own deeds of the past and the present. So don't try and confuse the issue we are discussing. We are discussing how administration.
No, when the government shows insensitiveness, the minister goes scot-free. So why can't a serial rapist, a driver go scot-free in this country? When a minister goes scot-free, despite alleged rape cases against him,
and he is before
if
the
he
court,
goes scot-free, how can you?
The 9 ministers.
How are you to blame the police when the police is not able to catch a minister who is alleged for a rape case? How can you blame the police when it issues a character certificate to a serial rapist?
I mean, you seem to be hard of hearing. You don't hear very well.
Lekhi, you need to reply for that.
Ma'am, it's only in India. Why do you just do this? No, Pooja Bedi. No, one minute. Why do you feel? Why don't you both? Meenakshi.
Should I be ashamed of that?
Meenakshi. What we should be ashamed about, and I'd like to get Pooja Bedi in on this, and Shobha, and Shobha De. The point is, what we should be ashamed about in our country, in the national capital, a man who has committed rape, who has been acquitted because the victim could not come out, obviously because of other reasons, 1 minute, goes out and carries out another rape, driving a cab without a license,
yes,
without basic documentation, and the government says we will take no responsibility as the private company. Pooja Bedi, your response to the political class tonight. Pooja Bedi, please, to the politicians tonight. Pooja Bedi to the politicians tonight. Let's have both on the screen, please.
Arnab?
Yes, Pooja.
Right. If these other two ladies would allow me a chance to speak, thank you. Arnab, I blame the system and I blame every single politician or person in power who has had access to change the system and has not done so. I think it is shocking that when any incident occurs, political parties turn on each other, start finger pointing and start this entire politicization of something. And if I may just ask these people who are representing political parties today, there are 30 people from, say, assuming Pakistan, who's across the border and we have hostile relationships with them. If 30 men across the border came here and raped about 50 of our women and our children, etc., etc., what kind of a political outcry would there be collectively from all political parties against
Pakistan
the act? I would like to see in my country, I would like to see a collective outcry from all political parties against what has happened, not damning each other, but finding solutions how to
that
put
point
things
is
in
well
place.
taken. That point is well taken. No.
Because clearly there are no systems in place.
So there are no systems in place. I totally agree with you.
The systems are not in place. You turn around and blame an Uber cab company. That is the extent of where we're going to, because our systems are not in place. If
no, the company is also to blame. The company is also to blame.
Arnab, since I'm the only voice here from the women's movement, please let me make a point. Please let me speak.
Kavita, let others also speak. Yes, go ahead.
There are certain very important. No, I have let everybody
I want
speak.
to be specific on the case.
I'm saying that a major point is I am being very specific as well. Please let me make a very important point here. I'm saying it is all very well. The women, nobody knows better than the women's movement that rape is a cultural, social issue, etc. My point is that
one second. Can I just make one point here? Can I just make one point here? No, my point here. My 1 minute, ma'am. I'll tell you one thing. This is not an issue limited to so-called the women's movement. It's a national issue. I'd like to know. It's not the preserve of the women's movement.
Can I make my point?
Yeah, but I needed to point that out.
Why are you lecturing here, Arnab? I'm saying the women's movement in the country is the one that has been raising the substantial issues that talks to the survivors, that knows what needs to be done. Please let me speak. And please don't lecture me being from the women's movement. Please let me speak.
Women are
please
just
let
not
me
a priority.
finish my substantial point.
It's all right, Ms. Krishnan. Don't lose your temper.
I'm wanting to say here, you're not letting me speak at all here. Instead, you're lecturing me. I want to make the point
Nobody is lecturing you.
Prevention is an issue. You are lecturing. I'm saying punishment is not the only issue. Meenakshi Lekhi is talking about what happens after the rape. I'm saying that the Justice Verma Committee had laid down a series of steps that need to be taken in order to prevent rape and
no, one second. I am as aware. Just a minute. Just a minute. No. Kavita Krishnan.
Let's hold the government of the day responsible. We held the government of the day responsible in 2012. We have to do so now. And I would like to talk about the substantive
but Miss Krishnan, if you want to only speak, Miss Krishnan, 1 second, please hear me.
I'm not saying only
Miss Krishnan, hear me for a minute and be tolerant of the views of ordinary mortals as well. Be tolerant of the views of ordinary mortals as well. Please, Miss Krishnan.
You are not letting a single
Miss Krishnan, how can you assume that only the points you make are substantive and the points made by others are not substantive? My question is very simply this.
That's my opinion.
Miss Krishnan, you keep your opinion. Fine, you're the only person who understands.
I don't want to just blame.
Miss Krishnan, nobody is blaming. If you hear others.
Have those 2 minutes to make the substantive
Miss Krishnan, please hear others. There are 4 others on the program. They are not all foolish people. My point is very simple. Promises amount to nothing. We all know what the recommendations of the Justice Verma Committee were. But promises amount to nothing. You know why, Meenakshi Lekhi? Again, Miss Lekhi, you know why?
I'm sure you do.
Miss Lekhi, 1 minute, Miss Krishnan. Let's not have any amount of intellectual snobbery on the program, please. My point is very simple.
This is not about intellectual snobbery.
Miss Krishnan, again you believe that none of us have a point of view.
That have not been done.
Miss Krishnan, you are an activist. I am a journalist. I have my right to have my point of view. Now listen to me, please. My question is simple. 2 years after Nirbhaya, I asked Meenakshi Lekhi, what was promised by the PCR vans? What is the result, Meenakshi Lekhi? Where were the PCR vans in this case?
No, PCR vans were there, but where was the information
they were not.
The PCR van? That is the question. I'm sorry, Mr. Goswami. Allow me to make my point, and I'm making a systemic point.
So am I.
Did the girl complained? No, please listen. Please listen. I happen to be somebody who's practiced law.
That's all right, ma'am. You have practiced law. I am aware of the facts.
My point of view is important, even from a lawyer's point of view. The point is very simple. Did anyone make a complaint at 100 and PCR did not reach? The answer is no. Nobody made a complaint. The lady definitely showed presence of mind by clicking picture of the number plate and making a call to the police at 1:25 a.m. and police immediately turned up and immediately went to Uber's office and tried to capture the person.
You are justifying, you are defending the indefensible tonight.
I'm not justifying, please, I'm not
Ma'am, Uber is not even a registered taxi service. If the police are not responsible for checks and balances, who is?
It is not just the police. There is a systemic failure and there is
who runs the system? You do.
Which needs to be by shouting and
who runs the system?
Not solving the problem. It may sound I run the system, but the answer is most of the bureaucrats have been appointed by the past government, and most of the bureaucrats who are sitting are used to a bad system, and that system can only be changed once there is a democratically elected government in Delhi.
Ma'am, this is again you're making for Manish Sisodia. Manish Sisodia, coming back to the debate. Mr. Sisodia. Ma'am, I'll tell. No, 1 second.
Manish
Sisodia, 1 second. I expected, Meenakshi Lekhi, Uber taxis launched in Delhi in October 2013. They have been using the virtual system by them. According to the system, allow me to complete. I am not a lawyer or an activist, but I can speak.
No, I'm not allowing you to move forward till you clarify 2013 who was in government.
One second, you hear the next sentence. You hear the next sentence.
No, I will not hear.
Oh, you must hear the next sentence.
I will not hear the next sentence.
You hear the
Please
next
clarify
sentence.
Who was holding the government post to make this party
Fine.
run the...
So should I tell you, if I look at the number of days before and after May 16th, you have been more in power since May 16th than they have been before May 16th.
No,
answer.
Sir,
That's the question.
The point I'm
Why are you ducking, Meenakshi Lekhi? Why are you ducking?
I am paying for the sins of the past.
Why are you ducking?
And that system is not perfect. I need to change that system. Once there is a democratically elected government in Delhi.
Meenakshi Lekhi, you were intolerant to people who would make mistakes that cost women like this. No, you are not tonight. You are neither intolerant nor impatient.
I am still intolerant.
You are indulgent.
I am not only, I am non-indulgent, I am impatient, and I don't like these kind of systems and these people to
But you are allowing it.
What authority do I have
the
to
debate
change
continues. Shobha is asking a question. Shobha,
Manish Sisodia. Inertia which
Manish Sisodia, आपके पास आ रहा हूँ 2 मिनट पे. Shobha ने कुछ पूछ रही.
Meenakshi Lekhi,
Manish Sisodia से पूछिए कि अक्टूबर 2013 में किसकी सरकार थी?
I'm very disappointed by the tone you're adopting. You're passing the buck. You're talking about sins of omission.
I'm not passing the buck, ma'am. I'm putting the facts on record.
But you're refusing to address what took place.
That you are the only ones who care for the girl.
You are not showing even the slightest empathy. You're not showing any remorse for what happened. You're only justifying it and passing the buck on to an earlier administration.
What?
You're sounding as cold-blooded as the rapist.
No.
It's shocking. You're showing no empathy at all.
By expressing remorse, you don't give justice.
You are just passing the buck to the previous administration.
And I'm all for it.
And you're trying to justify the action of
will not
police
make the system change.
Right now.
The fact police is active with this alacrity is because of my government in the center.
You are part of that very system.
Chalo, let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question which the BJP asked the Congress sometime back.
Assume
one minute. The BJP asked the Congress this question in December 2012. Manish Sisodia, आपके पास आ रहा हूँ. सवाल ये है कि दिसंबर में बीजेपी ने कांग्रेस से एक सवाल पूछा. केंद्र की सरकार भी आपकी है, राज्य सरकार भी आपकी है, दिल्ली पुलिस भी आपके अंडर है, आपने क्या किया? तो सवाल आज पूछा जाएगा. मनीष सिसोदिया, आपसे सवाल, आप तो कर इस बात को आगे निकले. केंद्र की सरकार भी बीजेपी की है, दिल्ली पुलिस भी बीजेपी के अंडर है, और दिल्ली पुलिस ने या दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट ने कोई वार्निंग साइंस या केंद्र सरकार ने कोई वार्निंग साइंस नहीं देखे कि ऐसा सर्विस चल रहा है कि इस देश में रेपिस्ट इज गोइंग अराउंड driving a taxi after spending 7 months in Tihar. Ask any woman today, ask any mother or ask anyone whose family member, a lady might be going alone in a taxi today, whether they feel secure, Meenakshi Lekhi. The answer will be no, no, no. People would feel much more insecure today than they would even during Nirbhaya. Manish Sisodia wants to ask you something. Mr. Sisodia, go ahead. Sisodia ji पूछे नहीं. Meenakshi, I'll come back to you after Mr. Sisodia.
मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहता हूँ अर्नब, ये पीसीआर वैन की बात हुई थी. पीसीआर वैन आज भी और उस समय भी कितनी पीसीआर वैन नेताओं के आगे पीछे घूमती रहती हैं, कितनी पीसीआर वैन वाकई लोगों के लिए उपलब्ध होती रहती हैं. ये फैक्ट चेक होना चाहिए किसी दिन, और किसी एक रोज का फैक्ट उठा के देख लीजिए, आपको पता चल जाएगा पीसीआर वैन का है. दूसरी चीज मैं इस आपके प्रोग्राम में ये उठाना चाहता हूँ कि जिस वक्त इस देश में निर्भया कांड के बाद एक सख्त कानून बनाने की बात हुई थी, मुझे दुख है इस बात का. उस वक्त भी मैंने कहा था कि सारी की सारी मीडिया डिबेट और सारी की सारी पॉलिटिकल डिबेट इस बहस पे. एक मिनट मैम, I heard this carefully. पूरी की पूरी डिबेट इस बात पे चली गई कि सेक्स की उम्र क्या होनी चाहिए, कहां से ऑफेंस होना चाहिए, लेकिन इस बात पे नहीं हुई कि 3 महीने में कैसे रेप के सारे मामलों को निपटा दिया जाए और कैसे आगे आने वाले समय में किसी भी मामले में रेप के मामलों को 3 महीने में निपटा दिया जाए. फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट, सर्टेनिटी ऑफ पनिशमेंट के साथ में एस्टेब्लिश किए जाए. ये सब डिबेट ही नहीं हुई देश में निर्भया कांड के बाद में. क्या क्या डिबेट हुई, क्या क्या लड़ाई झगड़े हुए, लेकिन सर्टेनिटी ऑफ पनिशमेंट एंड क्विक पनिशमेंट, इन दोनों पे जब तक आप बात नहीं करेंगे, चाहे आज की सरकार करे, पिछली सरकार भी जींस पहनने पे पाबंदी लगाती थी, 8 बजे के बाद निकलने पे पाबंदी लगाती थी, उसको चलता कर दिया लोगों ने. इस सरकार को भी चलता कर देंगे अगर ये कानूनों में बदलाव नहीं करेगी तो.
No, because Shiv Kumar Yadav, the accused, is given a character certificate. because after a rape which happened in a radio taxi.
आप 200 रुपए में अर्नब
कैरेक्टर सर्टिफिकेट फॉर अ रेपिस्ट।
दिल्ली में मनीष सिसोदिया के नाम से, मैं ये कह रहा हूं अर्नब 200 रुपए देके आप मनीष सिसोदिया के नाम का कैरेक्टर सर्टिफिकेट बना के अपनी जेब में रख लीजिए, उपलब्ध है दिल्ली में।
और आज दिल्ली पुलिस कह रही है, मीनाक्षी लेखी, the Delhi police is now saying it was forged. They are saying it was forged. Who forged it?
So
who forged it?
So what are you trying to ask me?
I am asking you the absurdity of it. I am asking you why you are not moved by the
lying in the drawers of people. Police should give a verification of that. Until and unless a particular thing is sent to the police for verification, police does not know what is lying in your drawer.
Miss Lekhi, you cannot explain.
Now,
okay, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
Can police verify which is forged, which is not forged?
No, Miss Lekhi.
Now the difficulty which I am faced with is 2013 October, a taxi service. अब देखिए साहब, आप तो पुलिस का जिक्र मत कीजिए, क्योंकि आप लोगों ने जिस तरीके का अभद्र व्यवहार अफ्रीकन महिलाओं के साथ किया और 2013
अकाउंटेबल बनाना है कि नहीं बनाना, आप ये बताइए।
टैक्सी सर्विस शुरू हुई, लेकिन आपने उसके विषय में भी कोई बात नहीं उठाई, तो आज प्लीज भाषण देना बंद कीजिए। आज जो समस्या है उसके सुलझाने की तरफ बात करें।
पुलिस को अकाउंटेबल बनाना आपकी जिम्मेदारी में आता है कि नहीं आता?
और अगर आपको याद हो, तो मैं एक ऐसे लोगों में थी जिन्होंने कहा था कि सेक्शन ऑफेंस के जो ऑफेंडर्स हैं वो रिपीट ऑफेंडर्स होते हैं, कृपया करके उनका रिकॉर्ड थानों में रखा जाए और उनको ट्रैक किया जाए।
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ मीनाक्षी लेखी, मेरा सवाल बहुत सिंपल है। माय क्वेश्चन इज वेरी सिंपल। हाउ डज अ रेपिस्ट ड्राइव अ टैक्सी इन इंडिया?
इस चीज को आप नेट पे नहीं डाल सकते, लोगों से बात नहीं कर सकते।
आई एम सॉरी,